Hey everyone, how's it going? How does my voice sound? Does it sound good? Better? Alright. Oh, of course it's not gonna work. I literally just fixed this before we went live. Why wouldn't you work? One of these days, just one of these days, it's gonna work. I have faith. There we go. There we go. Alright. Oh, that is the news we are starting with today. Because, like my video said, there was no way that was happening. And Steve, thanks for bringing it to my attention. Man, I had a long day today. It's been a long week. Lots of rubbish going out there. And I am actually trying to find someone that can make some royalty free, my own music at the moment. I did finally find someone who actually was, said I could use their music, and they let me use it, and then they claimed my channel. So let that one sink in. They actually said I could use their music, got all the emails and everything, and then they filed a copyright complaint. Well, yeah, copyright claim. Not a strike on my channel, but they did copyright claim me. I am from the UK. Can't hear anything. Wait. No. Who's this? Who's this trying to who's this trying to be funny? Who's this trying to be funny? Oh, Steve. Steve, you're trying to be funny. Trying to be funny. Yeah, Taz. Basically, you know that lo-fi music that I was using? So I actually reached out to them originally, and they turned around and told me that yeah, you can use our music. It's all free. There is no royalties to it. There's no copyright. It's our own twist on the music. So there's no royalties. There's no copyright. There's nothing. So I used it 2 weeks now in a row. The first week I used it, before the video, my stream even finished, I received a notification that there's a copyright claim. So I said, okay. So I contacted the company, and they were like, yeah. We just checked your stuff. You've given us credit and all this and all that. We'll pass it on to the relevant department. So the second week I used it, and they said, oh, it should have been done by now. It usually takes about 3 days. It's been 10 days now, and they haven't done it, so I'm just not using their music anymore. It's just stupid. I mean, I even reached out to them, and they said, yeah, you can use my music. It's fine. I am wearing a fleece cardigan, whatever you want, a little mini jacket. You can call it whatever you want, because it is freezing today, and our heaters don't properly work. Properly work. No one clip that. You missed and say hello, Rabbi Henriksen. How's it going, Brendan? How's it going, Brendan? Sanchez Gaming. How's it going? Yeah, I've got myself now. I've actually got my new boom, new pop filter, new mic, new camera. So lots of investment to make the streams better. So hopefully it's paid off. Hopefully It's given a much punchier sound, a much clearer sound, better sound than my previous mic. And obviously the camera, I'm hoping it's made a big difference. Rabbi, I am doing well. A little bit tired from work today. Had a lot going on, but otherwise I am doing good. Even better news as we start off with this. We have no plans to bring Xbox Game Pass to PlayStation or Nintendo. Xbox CEO Phil Spencer on console hardware, the future of Activision Blizzard, and much more. Oh, I do. Of course I do. Of course I do. Um, I like to be as fair as possible. That is always going to be, that is always going to be me. And I know sometimes that might not resonate with some of you, but I like to be as fair as possible. Man, you hope the Sony ponies admitting the Xbox games and PC games are so good. I'm not hoping. I'm telling you what was happening. Look, all I'm seeing online, Lord, is Xbox going third party. The best thing for the industry is Xbox going third party so we can play their games. If that isn't begging, you tell me what is. If that isn't begging, you tell me what is. The fact that they're begging for Xbox to go third party so they can have the Xbox games on their platform, I don't know, man. I don't know. A little bit of banter is always good, Andrew. But yeah, some of them take it a bit too far. I don't mind a little bit. Oh, I hit the mic. I don't mind a little bit of banter. I think a little bit of banter is always good, right? It's a bit of fun and games. We all take part in it a little bit, mock a little bit, but sometimes people like to go a little too far. Uh, is bad my questions? No. PS5, Xbox games in comes out. Sorry, I don't understand the question. Xbox is my main platform, but I have a PlayStation 5 for games now. Yeah, I mean, I've got the same. Is bad. Your questions aren't bad. You can ask whatever you like. PS5, Xbox games in comes out. I'm sorry, I don't understand that. I just like gaming on all consoles. Xbox is my main platform, but I do have it. Yep. Warrior come out games, PS5 passes Xbox. Oh, right. Now I understand. Yeah. That's my concern. That, uh, if Xbox doesn't sell more consoles, third party companies will bypass Xbox. That is my concern. So consoles actually do matter. Rob Cardell immediately with that super chat of $20. How's it going, Rob Cardell? Thank you so much. That is very, very generous of you. Phil Spencer is bad. Give PS5, Xbox. No, Rabbi. They're not. He's not giving PlayStation or Xbox Nintendo anything. As you can see here on the screen, we are starting off with the main news of the actual day. Hey, Jacob, how's it going? I burned my PS4 and PS5 my Xbox One and got myself a gaming laptop and a Steam Deck. Total worth. Hey, Steam Deck is amazing. Look, the only thing I'd say that's the PC crowd is missing is the exclusives. That's it. But otherwise, they're pretty much almost there. Once Sony start putting their games day one on PC, then yeah, you'll have even less reason. I think you'll start to get there in about 5 years. Honestly, Lord Blue, I think you'll get there in about 5 years. You got your own Rust server. That is nice. That is nice. But I mean, I've got a Steam Deck myself. I'm just waiting for the Steam Deck 2 now. I'm not going to bother with the OLED. But yeah, as we can see here in our exclusive interview with Microsoft Gaming CEO, Phil Spencer, we got a glimpse of the future of Xbox and Microsoft's evolving strategy going forward. Microsoft Gaming CEO and Xbox lead Phil Spencer is currently at CCXP 2023 presenting alongside other major entertainment companies at one of Brazil's biggest comic, movies, and gaming conventions. And so they were all talking about Final Fantasy Festival and how they were doing, Xbox platform. The question of, the Brazil spike in price came up. And of course, Phil Spencer was so diligently masterful in answering a whole bunch of nothing when it came to that question and just avoided the answering at all costs. On Xbox Game Pass coming to other platforms, innovation in future Xbox console hardware, and keeping the fans excited. I asked Phil Spencer about the Xbox CFO, the guy that drank way too many martinis, Tim Stewart's recent comments regarding Xbox Game Pass. Stewart, in a presentation with Wells Fargo after having one too many vodkas, said that Microsoft's aim was to bring Xbox Game Pass to any screen that can play games, including Nintendo and PlayStation. I did reiterate that he did actually drink one too many vodkas. I even said that in my video, right? He had one too many martinis. If the guy thought he was Bond and he just couldn't handle his drink. Many Xbox fans took this to indicate that Microsoft is preparing for an industry where Xbox hardware no longer exists. And honestly, with the way he was talking, that's where he was going. But I still didn't believe it based on, the missed communication. I think the biggest one that gave it away to tell me that he was drunk, didn't know what he was talking about, was when he decided to say that they thought about throwing away $4 billion. Show me a company out there that wants to throw away a minimum $4 billion a year. Just show me one. If you can show me one that's happy to throw away $4 billion a year, then I'll happily admit that he wasn't drunk. Since Xbox Game Pass and its exclusives are a primary value driver for Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and Xbox One hardware. And this is Phil's response. I'll start by saying we have no plans to bring Xbox Game Pass to PlayStation or Nintendo. Now, I think that Nintendo could probably still be a thing if Nintendo agree, and I think that's actually possible, if they ever release a cloud service, to put it onto Xbox. I think Microsoft and Nintendo's relationship is actually on that level now, with Microsoft giving Nintendo a lot of IP that now Microsoft owns, but were originally on Nintendo platforms. So I think their relationship is almost there, where if Nintendo ever release a cloud platform, well, I mean, they will eventually. It's inevitable. In 10, 15 years, all three platforms are going to leave hardware behind. For the most part, at least, anyway, like 99% of it. And at that point, I can easily see during that transition between now and then, Nintendo moving over to some cloud stuff, and I can see that coming over to Xbox. So that one I think might be in the future. It's not in our plans, but I think you hit the right point of what it means to own an Xbox. Owning an Xbox is awesome. I love my Xbox, especially with my Starfield sleeve. It's amazing. It looks great, and it makes people who come into my living room turn around and go, that looks awesome. And then they look at my PS5 and they're like, oh, good heavens. But I think you hit on the right point of what it means to own an Xbox. The thing I want to be focused on is how do we continue to innovate for people who've made the commitment to our hardware platform. And how do we continue to make sure that they feel great about their investment in what we've built? Well, you can do that by getting more exclusives. I'm obviously going to have my own point of view on our hardware, but I think our hardware team did a great job. I think they did. With the Xbox Series X and Series S, this generation giving value and performance in the hardware line, when I think about investments in things like Game Pass, xCloud, Crossplay, cross-save, hey look, if he's going to talk about crossplay and cross-save, he needs to fix Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls Online, I think we all agree, Fallout 76, we all agree, needs crossplay and cross-save, right? It needs it. It needs to happen. They need to introduce it. They need to bring it in. And Idea Xbox, all of these things, I want us to continue to innovate. So people on our console feel like we're making investments in console that matches their commitment they're making to us. I raised those two because I've got friends that actually play on PlayStation. I've got it on Xbox. I can't play with them. And they don't have an Xbox. So either I have to go and now buy it on PlayStation to play with them, or we all have to congregate to PC and play. It's a problem. Carlos, I agree. I mean, it needs it. It needs it to. It needs cross-play, cross-platform to elevate it to that next level. It needs it. Same with Fallout 76. If they want to like break free of their shackles, those two games, they need to remove that restriction. Game Pass was one of the things that over the last 5 years we built and we continue to grow. It's on PC, it's on cloud, it's an important part of the Xbox console identity. It is the platform. Xbox to console is no longer the platform. Game Pass is the platform. Everything around Game Pass is the accessories to Game Pass. And I think it will continue to be that, and we will continue to look at future ways for us to innovate across our game portfolio and our platform. I asked Spencer if Microsoft planned for innovation. He mentioned and described what innovations might look like. We absolutely do. Just last month, we elevated Sarah Bond to be the president of Xbox. The hardware team is in her organization. Right, so if anything's wrong with the hardware, at least now we know who to get the pitchforks out to. The platform and services team are in her organization. Yeah. Right, Sarah, you can't mess this up. This is your first time. There's going to be no forgiving. What's going on there? Please stay live. Make good sound. Oh yeah, Xbox is going to be around for a while. Future, please stay live. So what you say? What Rabbi is saying there is basically they want Xbox to stay alive, and they hope that Phil Spencer keeps the platform alive and makes a lot of money and brings lots more games to Game Pass. I can just about make it out, Eric. I can make it out. Trust me, I've seen a hell of a lot worse. Come on now, let's not be mean. I would want an Xbox. Xbox handheld would actually be good, but how would it look? Before I continue reading, how would an Xbox handheld look? Like, at what power would it be? At the strength of a Series S? So you'd be getting a Series S performance, or would you want it at the Series X? You got your sleeve. I'm still waiting for mine. I do not. Steam Deck to emulate the Xbox would be close in that form. I mean, Steam Deck can emulate the Xbox One, the original Xbox, and I think the 360 as well. So there's that. I even saw that they're emulating 360 games as well on the Steam Deck. Yep, they are. Phil Spencer needs to sell more. They need to sell more consoles. That is true, Robbie. They need but to change the Fallout 76 inventory as they did for ESO. And inventory management will always be a problem. You should have seen me playing Alan Wake 2. It was like my biggest, issue with the game overall. inventory management in that game was horrendous. If you are going to play Alan Wake 2, it is a phenomenal game, by the way. Although I do recommend you play the prequels to get a better understanding of the story, because a lot of it will not make any sense whatsoever. In fact, I'd say 95% of it will not make any sense. So you kind of need to play Alan Wake, the DLC, first DLC, second DLC, American Nightmare. Then I'd say Quantum Break, because there is some crossover there. They are in the same universe, and Quantum Break, regardless of what Remedy says, is canon. Because there's a number of references in there to AWE, and there's also actual out-and-out references to Alan Wake in there, with his pictures, with his books, with his, there's like a whole board with like discussions on what happened at, Night Springs and everything else. So it's definitely canon. It's just Remedy can't say it's canon because Microsoft owned the IP. But after Quantum Break, then you have Control. The first DLC doesn't matter, but the second DLC, AWE, is what bridges Alan Wake 2. So you kind of need that context between it, because if you don't have that context, you don't know who the Federal Bureau of Control is. You don't know the events that happened in Alan Wake. You don't know what happened within the DLCs or the American Nightmare and the issues that happened and the way Scratch actually played him in American Nightmare. So there's all of this that happens. So, and with the AWE DLC, it actually explains what was happening, the madness that was going with Alan himself, and it all kind of culminates and makes sense by the time you get to Alan Wake 2. So there's a lot of baggage there. Definitely sounds like they have an internal roadmap for hardware. Nice to hear. I can already predict that the Steam Deck to eventually emulate Xbox One games. I don't think it's powerful enough, honestly. It needs a lot more power, I think. The Steam Deck isn't that powerful. Maybe if I don't know. Didn't the original Xbox One use NVIDIA chipsets? So they're not using AMD. So they'd have been optimized for anything that's NVIDIA. I mean, I don't think they'll run full speed, but I can see it maybe running at half. Am I the only one that doesn't think the mid-gen refresh isn't happening for... the mid-gen is happening, but it's not going to be the mid-gen refresh you think it is. It's not going to be a Pro. Before I forget, remember the leaked timeline for the next Xbox, Brooklyn? Yeah? Spencer said the game's fun, no refresh. There's no refresh. I don't think they're going to change anything but the external chip. Carlos, they're just going to make it digital. Look, we've known for a long time Microsoft has been going full digital, right? Even with their games, if you pick up an Xbox game, if it says Xbox One and Xbox Series X, the Series X code isn't on the disc. It's only the Xbox One code that's on the disc. Only partial Series X code is on the disc. The rest of it is downloaded. So there's actually, unless you actually want the Xbox One version of the game, there's actually no reason unless it specifically has only the Series X tag on there. And we are seeing a few games now coming out with only the Series X tag. But the reality is, a lot of the games for year 1, 2, and 3 are basically the Xbox One versions only. So if for whatever reason we lost the internet today and you put your disc in, you'd be playing the inferior Xbox One version. Let's continue with what this says. We made that organizational move specifically to ensure we had a unified focus for our innovation roadmap across hardware and services. I think, you know what? How cool would it be, right? How cool would it be if they turned around at the Game Awards and said, all right, boys, girls, Xbox fans, look, we know you've seen the PlayStation Portal, and as soon as they say that, you know what's coming, right? You absolutely know what's coming. Either he's completely going to ridicule the PlayStation Portal, or They're about to announce the first next generation Xbox handheld console. And if they do, I think that's going to just completely blow the socks off everyone. That includes the developer platform for Xbox consoles as well. That's about innovation we're doing within our teams. But we'll have to talk more about in terms of what we're doing in hardware space and in the service space. There's a lot of mistakes in this article. A lot of great work for us to do. We're always listening. Now, the only problem is Phil Spencer is really, really pushing the Asus ROG as the next generation Xbox handheld console. And for good measure, it actually is a good console. I'm really tempted to pick one up. I was actually going to pick one up on Black Friday and do a review on it. But I've been stung by the... Well, no, okay, that's harsh. Not stung, but I've got my Steam Deck, and then they released an OLED, so I'm going to wait for the OLED version of the, Asus ROG Ally, and then pick that up. Hey, Adidas 20 with the $5 super chat. Ponies running out of narratives. Yes, they are. I mean, they clung on to this third-party rubbish, and 2027, like their life depended on it, be it Unleashed, Hyped, Droid. They are at it. I mean, I don't even need to talk about Unleashed, right? You all know about Unleashed. Look, I generally don't like to mock people. Okay, I do like to mock people. But I've never seen anyone cap for something they don't own so badly. My dude doesn't own a PS5. He doesn't own a Series X. I don't even think he owns a gaming PC. And yet all he does day in, day out is bash Starfield. I think he's a little bit jealous, guys. That's all. That's the only thing I can think of. I think he's a little bit jealous. Hey, Adidas 20, thank you very much for becoming a member. We have reached 8 members now. Awesome. Thank you so much, dude. But he's not turning into carrots. Yeah, you'll see him, Steve. You'll see him on Twitter. He is. It's weird. It's really weird because he doesn't own a console. Well, at least a next generation console. And yet he caps for it like his life depends on it. His existence would be nothing without Xbox and Starfield. There's a roadmap of those things coming as well. That's going to be really interesting. I think we may actually see this in the next showcase. We probably won't see this at the Game Awards, but I reckon at the next showcase we'll probably start to see stuff about that. There's a hardware roadmap. There's a service roadmap. Maybe there's even a roadmap for improvements to Xbox achievements. Ooh, that would be nice. They did say that they wanted to change the point system to a more trophy-style system, which a lot of people have been asking for anyway, which I know is something that you and many others care about. We need to make sure we're exposing roadmap to our customers to keep them excited. We know that our customers want to know that as Xbox continues to grow, that will still have a commitment to them. We want our Xbox core customers that have been with us all along to feel respected. And this right here is what I was talking about. Now, I actually said yesterday that Phil Spencer on Twitter, I said, I tagged Phil Spencer and I said, look, at the end of the day, what Stuart has done is bad. And it's really, really damaging the Xbox brand. Someone needs to come out and address this real quick, real fast, because if they don't, things are going to take a turn for the worse. And, Phil knows what he's doing, right? Phil's a smart guy. He knew he had to come out and make a statement. And this is the type of thing you want to hear. There's a roadmap for more Xbox hardware. There's commitments to more Game Pass. There's commitment to more services. There's commitments to making the Xbox experience better. There's commitments to making xCloud better. There's commitments to making, bringing more games to you as a consumer of Xbox to be able to play in more places that you so choose to, within reason. I mean, that's the sort of commitment that you want from Phil. That is the type of response that we were waiting for and we were hoping for. And, he did not disappoint. I think that is, what we all wanted to hear, and that is great. On the topic of gaming handhelds, here you go, the one you guys that actually wanted to know about handhelds. I noted the growth of the Asus ROG Ally. Like I said, and devices like Lenovo Legion Go. Actually, that's a bit more on the back burner because the Asus ROG seems to be the one that's getting all the focus at the moment, which are bringing PC Game Pass and Steam games natively in portable scenarios broadly for the first time. I mean, you can do it with the Steam Deck as well. I actually installed Windows on an SD card. I know, right? Crazy. And I installed Game Pass on there and then downloaded Starfield. And it actually runs relatively really well. I mean, it's all on the lowest settings, mind you. It is only 15 TDP, but it does actually run almost, it runs better than I expected it. It's fully playable. We talked about Xbox Play Anywhere, which lets you play Xbox console games on your PC with cross-save and cross-entitlement. I referenced the fact that Xbox app on Windows 11 recently gained a compact mode. That's really awesome because that also works on your Asus ROG Ally and your Lenovo Legion Go, so that's awesome. Compact mode means that it's more designed for the smaller screens, so they're already designing it with, handhelds in mind. I appreciate the mention of the Xbox app and the work Ashley McKissick and the team put together with the launch with compact mode to make it more usable on those devices. I'm traveling right now. I have my Lenovo Legion Go with me, which is fantastic. I think about those handheld PCs, almost extensions of my Xbox console. Has anyone noticed here how Phil Spencer is pretty much doing exactly what Reggie does? The one thing Reggie did more than anything when he was at Nintendo, that guy promoted the living shit out of Nintendo. He would be sitting there and he'd just take out of his pocket a DS or a 3DS or anything that was a Nintendo handheld. And I love the way Phil is doing exactly the same thing when it comes to these, PC handhelds. He's trying to, the moment you think of the Asus or the Lenovo or the Steam Deck, he wants you to think Xbox. And he's doing a really good job in doing that as well. Because one of the first things that people ask is, can I install Game Pass on there? And obviously with the Steam Deck, it's a little more difficult because you can't. You can't natively do it. You have to jump through hoops. But when it comes to the Lenovo and the actual Asus ROG, you can. And they work really well. And he's getting that mindset slowly brought in that when you think of these consoles, handheld consoles, the first thing you think about is Xbox. And it's crazy, but it's getting to that point. We've been pushing for crossplay, cross-save, cross-progression for so long. Then bring Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 76 crossplay and cross-save to see when I pick up a game that my progress on my console shows up on this handheld in a native way. Okay, that's what you mean? Fine, I'll give it to you. It's not just cloud streaming, and I can play on the airplane and or play when I'm disconnected. Did you guys see that guy on the airplane thinking he can play Spider-Man all that way in the air? Not even with Starlink is he going to get that level of service. That was just fake. I think that's vitally important to where we're trying to go. I think a lot about product entitlement and what we have Xbox Play Anywhere. Xbox Play Anywhere has been a long-term part of our strategy, though I don't think we've made such progress as maybe we could have over the years that's been out. That's true. But as I see these handheld PCs come along, I think things like playing anywhere and my ability to keep my games library with me and allowing me to play those on different devices, including cloud streamed at some point, we're looking at the ability to allow you to stream the games that you own. And I think that's the important thing here, right? Even if you can't natively install it, you can still play it over the cloud as long as you've got a Wi-Fi connection. The Sony camp abandoned hardware after hardware. I mean, the stroke of genius that the PlayStation had was ahead of its time was the PlayStation Portal and the Vita. It's a shame PS dropped it. I mean, Lord Blue, when you say that, I mean, the PSP was actually an amazing console. I will say that. I loved it. I think I've got 2 of them. I imported mine from Japan because I was so excited for it. I actually got it with Ridge Racer, which was so awesome. I spent, it's insane how many hours I spent on that game. I 100% did everything. I'm a big Ridge Racer fan. Yeah, and I love my PS Portal, PlayStation Portal, not Portal, PlayStation Portable. But Sony abandoned it, and as soon as they abandoned it, third parties abandoned it. If there's a game that I would recommend you all play on the PSP, if you ever haven't, want to go try it out, check out Metal Gear Acid. You got Metal Gear Acid 1 and Metal Gear Acid 2. It's a RTS-like game based on the use of cards, but it is phenomenal. Seriously, you need to play it. It's great. But then they released the Vita, and they released 5 first-party games, and then they abandoned it. The genius thing with the PlayStation Portal is that they don't have to support it. It's going to kill itself, and it's got nothing to do with them. As far as they're concerned, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It remote plays. The fact that your connection might not be good, or the fact that you can't play it 3 feet away from your router, that's a you problem and not a me problem. They want to give a platinum type achievement? Yeah, they do, Steve. Right now, Microsoft is Steam app and PlayStation is Epic Store. They really need something to counter Xbox. I mean, Xbox is also entering the mobile market, right? So that's going to be a thing. Both Asus ROG and Lenovo Go come with free 1 month. I mean, they do. I think the ROG comes with 3 months, right? At least it does here in the UK. On Xbox games you own in xCloud Gaming, Xbox Family, and benefits for developers. That's just not what that's all just saying. But yeah. Aha, ha ha ha. I see some good stuff here. On Activision Blizzard, dormant franchises, and a roadmap for tapping into nostalgic IPs. I probably can't do the compare and contrast that well, since I wasn't in the rooms at Activision when they were making some of the decisions about what games to focus on. I can speak to us. It goes back to some of our language on Game Pass in the very beginning. We have a service that is financially viable, meaning it makes money. And like I was saying in my video that I released earlier today, just from £60, which is Xbox Game Pass Core, right, with the 44 million subscribers, not billion, million. Yes, I know I said billion. You don't need to point it out every damn time. It was a mistake, all right? But at 44 billion, I mean million, that is still 2.64 billion pounds. That one was intentional, which is roughly about 4 billion that they're getting just from Xbox Core minimum price subscriptions. Now, of course, from that 44 million subscribers, you don't just have the Xbox Core, but you have normal Game Pass as well. I don't know why anyone would subscribe to that one, but apparently they do. You've got the Game Pass PC, and of course you've got Game Pass Ultimate, which are more expensive than Core overall. So then when you think about that, you're looking about £4 billion minimum on average, which is roughly about, give or take, 5.5–6 billion. I'll say about $5.5 billion. That's just coming from Game Pass subscriptions. It's a healthy business. I knew that one give you a little... We put a lot of money into the market, over $1 billion a year, supporting third-party games coming into Game Pass. So there you can see, even though they're putting over $1 billion, they are still in net profit of about $4 billion. That to me is a win, right? I can't be the only one thinking you invest $1 billion, you make $4 billion profit. Where's the loss in that as a company? What we see in Game Pass is a service that supports all kinds of games, from the biggest games to the unknown indie games that you didn't know you would love until you played it. I agree. Cocoon is a fantastic game. You should go check it out. Really, really good game. It's even been nominated. I would never have tried that if it wasn't on Game Pass, but it was. I saw it and I figured I'd try it out. I actually tried that out before it got all the hype and rage. Remember that time we actually streamed it because it just dropped onto Game Pass, and I thought, hey, let's check it out. And I actually really enjoyed it. If you're an individual publisher, you really have to think about how do you get everybody playing my game. I think a lot of the publishers are naturally drawn to making games that are big hit games as big as possible. We want to do that as well, of course, but because we have a platform and we have a subscription service, having people play more and stay engaged on the platform, frankly, regardless of the types of games they're playing, is a very viable part of our strategy. Of course, making it cloud enabled as well or available on the go is definitely going to increase that. So I think that's the next place they really want to go now. When you look at things we've done over the past 12 months, if you look at things like Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, long-term investment in games like Grounded, that is such a fun game to play. Have you ever played Grounded? If you haven't, and you play with your kids or something, especially like I did, we went out, we saw a giant spider. I pushed my kid to go first, and then I climbed up a tree and just left him there. I can tell you right now, he was not amused. He was not amused. As his character was running hightail, I was just cheering him on as he lured the spiders away and left me a free path to continue. His sacrifice was not in vain. I did steal his loot as well after he died. All of these games. All of these games have had real success for us in our subscription. Different kinds of content and still have financial success with that content. I mean, we can see this through that guy that just released what's that game? That tea game. I forgot what it's called now. Spirited Tea. They also had like the bike game. I can't remember what it's called now, but they've had massive success. When we look at the back catalogue of games from Bethesda, we get really excited. We look at the back catalogue of Activision Blizzard, we get really excited about the things we can do. Hey, look, I like the fact that you're thinking like this, Phil, but you've had Rare for such a long time and you did jack shit. Get on it. I don't care if people say it's not going to sell. We want another Banjo-Kazooie. We want another Conker's Bad Day. Well, maybe not the Bad Day part, but we want another Conkers. We want more Rare games to come out. We're just not just Sea of Thieves. It's early days, so we need to be talking to the teams that are fully staffed and working on things already. It's not like, hey, there's a spare team that you can just go to and put on something. You need to make sure those teams have passion for what they want to go work on. I will say that the diversity in the business models that we have in Microsoft Gaming really lets us support different kinds of games. I just hope they kind of live up to this and do deliver this. You did a great job in laying some of the examples from the past. Thinking about Age of Empires, we're on the 10th anniversary edition of Killer Instinct, which is another nice example to think about. There has been passion behind the team's projects. That doesn't mean the team has to be the original team every time. I'm not one, and maybe this is just my approach, I'm not one to come in and take a franchise from a team and remove them from the discussion or development process on how something new gets built. I mean, I think that's the right way to do it, right? If you don't turn to the original team and tell them to piss off. After all, they're the original creators. I think the original creators, the culture, frankly, some of the lessons we've learned from the past experiences here are very important. You've seen from our history that we haven't touched every franchise that people would love us to touch. Okay, look, Phil, you need to stop touching things. It's getting a bit disturbing. But you can touch me. It's okay. Someone is totally going to clip that out of context and put it on the internet now. I just know it. Banjo fans, I hear you. You better don't hear us. It's been a while. But it is true that when we find the right team and the right opportunity, I love going back to revisit stories and characters that we've seen previously. In the case of Blizzard games specifically, what I want to do is work with Blizzard's leadership to see where they have passion. I mean, they do look soulless right now. I have all this, but I'm not at all suggesting that Blizzard doesn't have passion for reviving franchises too. Dude, you literally just said it. But we'll let it slide. I know that from my visits to the team, they absolutely have passion in this area. There's a lot of excitement for possibilities that we can all do together. But also, I want our fans and customers to know that I don't bring up games just to tease to no end. If people have watched how we've teased things in the past, there's usually some kind of reconciliation of those hints later on. I'm not one to try and lead people on. It might not happen on the timeline that people would love, but usually when I tease, there's something there. There you go. So if he starts talking about games, like he's spoken multiple times about Guitar Hero, so that's actually going to be a thing, is what he's saying. Banjo-Kazooie will do great numbers just on Game Pass alone. Oh yeah, Sanchez. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Banjo-Kazooie is a 3D platformer. And it's something that Microsoft right now is really missing, that kind of mascotty third party, well not well first party game. You know, for the longest time, PlayStation had Crash Bandicoot. That is now a Xbox mascot. Now they have nothing. I guess they got Astrobot. Astrobot is still cool. You know, I like Astrobot. I'm surprised Sony hasn't invested more into Astrobot. That is such a cool little robot gadget mascotty thing that they could do awesome stuff with, and they're just ignoring it. It's really dumb. They really should have done something with that. But you know, when you look at Nintendo, they have Mario. Xbox doesn't really have a fuzzy little mascot that will bring kids to go and buy the merch. Not that I can think of any offhand. So something like Banjo and Kazooie, Conker, that would work. It would, they could fall on that. I mean, in the past they had Blinks, which was a good game, the original at least. The sequel they kind of messed up a little bit, but bringing back Blinks would work. Revamp it into the modern age. Stuff like this is what they kind of need. They need to appeal to that generation of kids as well that want to go and buy that merch. My kids saw an Astrobot plushie and goes, "Oh my god, I really want that!" So now they're locked in their basement, so they can understand what they did wrong. But I'm just kidding. You get the point. You get the point. They kind of need that mascot to just be there for them. And, I think Banjo-Kazooie could, if they actually do if they do it good justice, a good service to the game and franchise, I think it can be that. I know the lead developer of the original said that there's no demand for it, but I think it could work. When you put it that way, that makes, there we go. I guess PlayStation PlayStation now has Ratchet and Clank, but I don't think Ratchet has that kind of mascot appeal. I think he's there, but I think Astro has a much bigger appeal. When I think of Astrobot, that screams PlayStation. When I think of Ratchet and Clank, it just screams a game. I'm not sure. That's how I feel about it. Maybe other people feel different, but when I see Astrobot, it screams PlayStation to me. And that's what you want. When I see Mario, it screams Nintendo. Microsoft need that. When you see a mascot, it needs to scream Xbox. Halo used to be that until it decided to lose its way a bit, and then Microsoft just kind of almost disowned it as a child. But again, that didn't really appeal to the lower age kids. You want something that's going to appeal to the lower age kids. Master Chief isn't that. Master Chief is going to appeal to people like me. If they make a Halo game, I want to play it. The only one that I haven't played yet is Infinite, because it pissed me off when it launched, incomplete, because I played all the Halos with a friend of mine in co-op. We experienced all of them in co-op, right? And so we said We even went back before Infinite's release and played through the whole collection of Master Chief. Finished them all, ready in co-op for the actual Infinite, and then Infinite launches without co-op. That was so disappointing. Really, really disappointing to me. This is what I was saying in like many videos ago. They can't be doing that. They can't. It leaves such a sour taste in for people. I'm still gonna. I mean, I will eventually go back and play it. My friend has pretty much moved on from Halo now, so I'm pretty much on my own playing that now. But I will go back. I will go and play it at some point. But what I'm saying is that was a day one for us. But because there was no co-op, we kind of just dropped it. And this is something that they shouldn't do. Co-op is there now, I know, but it took like a year. But I'd rather have them waited a year and released it, and we all enjoyed it the way it should have been enjoyed. I have nothing left but Spider-Man. Why they just make Minecraft controller and console again? They will eventually. They will eventually. I get kids may not recognize, but Master Chief is synonymous. He is. I'm not saying that Master Chief shouldn't be a mascot. I think they should still be pushing Master Chief. But I think in terms of like, I mean, just look at it this way, right? You look at Christmas. What you're going to get the kids. Like, I'm talking like 5, 6, 7-year-olds, right? Not the 10, 15, the teenagers. I'm talking about kids. They want that mascot. They want that plushie. They want that toy, right? So something like that is cool. They see that plushie. It resonates with them because they're playing it inside a game. It gives them that excitement. It gives them that connection. So, it's an easy moneymaker. I don't know. Haloism is really good now. I agree. I totally agree. That's why I want to go back to it. I'm going to go back to actually play the campaign anyway. But what I'm saying is at the launch, when I wanted to play with it with a friend, because we played every Halo up to date, co-op, from the original days to the Master Chief Collection, all the way through, when we couldn't play Halo Infinite co-op, it was disappointing. And I think that's something that Microsoft need to do better and not do again. And as we can see here, no plans to bring Xbox Game Pass to Nintendo. There's a hardware roadmap, service roadmap. Maybe there's even a roadmap for improvements to Xbox achievements. We already know this because they're talking about trophy-like achievements. The roadmap to Xbox family plans exists. Recognizes Xbox is now sitting on many interesting IPs. So just finding the right teams. We haven't touched every franchise people would love us to touch. Banjo fans, I hear you. The fact that he says Banjo fans, I hear you, means that Banjo is in the works. That's it. Like he said, I don't tease anything for no reason. So the fact that he said this means there's a Banjo-Kazooie game in the works. So at least take that as pretty much semi-confirmed. Hey. I say that about my cat as well until I piss him off. Now this is awesome. This is awesome. I love this. Have you not seen this? Have you not seen the memes going around for this? Imagine Microsoft bought Sega, they'd have Sonic, Spyro. I mean, Sonic would be a good mascot. Billy Hatcher would be another good one. No, they're not, Robin. But they could be in financial trouble if the CMA win. I mean, Jeff Keighley was so happy about Rockstar announcing the GTA trailer at the Game Awards and revealing it there day one, and then all of a sudden, other territories are getting involved, I know, but it is one second, chat. A friend of mine was in the in London for a interview and stuff for and he got stranded in London, which is a little unfortunate. Not just a CMA. I'm not. Toys Up for Bob could make Banjo. They could. It's not a sure thing, but it's good. It's being looked into. I think no. What Phil just said. I don't tease anything for no reason. If I'm teasing it, it means there's something behind it. He just teased Banjo Kazooie straight after saying that. Now there has to be something behind it, right? If there's a Banjo game coming, Xbox Live will be indefinitely flying off the roof. Yep. But this over here, Jeff Keighley must be reeling. He must be pissed. I mean, how angry must Jeff be right now? What Microsoft does need, and this is my personal take, Microsoft needs something like Jack and Dexter or Ratchet and Clank style game. But Banjo Kazooie could be that style of game. If only that would be the case. But this is what I'm saying. Banjo Kazooie or Conker could be that game. Crash Bandicoot could be that game. But they kind of need a mascot, to do what they do. Seeing the new DLC GTA 5 now, player asking for animals. Now we getting Animal Online this Tuesday. All I'm saying is, this brought a smile to my face on how badly Jeff Keighley has handled the Game Awards. I think this year's Game Awards is a complete joke, a complete disaster, a shambles. And I think this was poetic justice, how he was so sure of himself that this was going to be announced in his show, and then Rockstar was like, yeah, nah. Moving on, boys, moving on. What's the comments like here? Just a laughing emoji. I mean, it's bad, right? Oh, shit. So we come over here. This is where the real paper is at, says Gaz Septic Sauce. If executed correctly, the revenue generated for this will be insane. This is where the big money is, right? Xbox chief Phil Spencer says Microsoft is talking to its partners about launching its Xbox mobile store. This is a key strategy, particularly with the Activision Blizzard acquisition. And don't forget, King is valued at 20 billion within that acquisition. So 20 billion of that 79 billion, or is it 69 billion, is actually for King. And relies on Apple and Google being forced to open up their platforms. Now, I can't see Apple and Google opening up their platform, although if the CMA really wants to get involved, the CMA and the global regulators can make it where they just don't have a choice. They have to. But it's going to be interesting to see how much the regulators want to support Microsoft in this and break up the duopoly and actually create more competition. I do think that this can give rise to more another brand of phone. I think Windows Phone could make a comeback, or a form of Windows Phone, but it can't be in the reign that it was before. Hey, Jason Redmond with another YouTube membership. Thank you so much, my dude. I appreciate it. But this is where the big money is, right? Having their own store, their own platform, all the games that are released on there, they get 30% cut. Although I do hope that they don't do the 30% cut and they go with the 15% cut to support developers more to be better. Although gacha games are just dirty and they're dirty money and they bring in dirty millions. Like I said, Call of Duty brings in, I think, $7 to $10 million a day. A day. Let that sink in. It brings in $7 to $10 million a day. That's mental, right? Show me AAA release game that makes 1 million a day. Google isn't the issue, really. Apple is. Nah, Google is always going to be a thorn on their side. Google doesn't want to share anything. All they want to do is shut things down. They do a great job with their graveyard. It may do. What? I don't know if they make 10 million a day. They might make 1 million a day. But outside of GTA, is there any other game? I should have said 2 in it. I should have said 2. Next time I bring up this example, I'm going to say show me 2 games. Just so you guys can not have that GTA 5 up your sleeve. Oh, shit. Gollum. No way. No. We don't talk about Gollum, man. Gollum's in a league of its own. Gollum's getting like a sequel, I heard. Made by Google. I think this has to be. All right, chat. Tell me what's wrong with this. Tell me what's wrong with this. Because I think some kid going home and opening this up on Christmas is going to have a really, really bad. It's going to be really disappointed. It looks okay. So, outside of Steve, how many of you are going to manage to play? How many of you are going to manage to play FIFA as a physical game on a digital console? You can't play the game. It's a digital console. They're selling you a game you can't play. Come on, that's really bad, man. That is really bad. I mean, at least give a like a code or something. It's not a code, JGRO. It's actually the disc. People have bought it. It's actually the disc. You actually get the disc with the console. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, I thought that was. Oh, it's awful, but kind of funny at the same time. But the thing is, right? And this is the thing. The average parent out there doesn't know anything about an Xbox, doesn't know anything about PlayStation. Like, if you go and ask my parents about gaming consoles, they will tell you the Nintendo, the Sega, the PlayStation, and the Xbox. They don't know the difference between a Xbox OG and a Series X and a 360. They just call it the Xbox. They don't know the difference between a PS1 and a PS5. They just call it the PlayStation. When it comes to Sega, whether it's a Mega Drive or a Genesis, as you guys call it in the US, or a Sega Dreamcast or the Sega Saturn, they just call it the Sega or the Nintendo. Like, that is the majority of the gaming populace that just doesn't know anything. They don't go on Twitter. They don't go on social media. They don't go on websites to browse and troll news sites. They just walk into a shop and go, "Ooh, look at this. Quantum Error looks great." Then goes home and goes, "Why did I waste my money?" But, the average person will just do that. But, it is what it is. Force One Vlogs. Apparently, people have gone and bought it, and it's actually the disc. This isn't a Microsoft run thing. By the way, this is a store exclusive, like they did it themselves. They bundled it themselves to sell the Series S. This has nothing to do with Microsoft. Microsoft isn't doing this. They're not promoting this. This is just some store. I think that's German. It's either German or Dutch. I can't tell. But they're doing it themselves. So I do want to point that out, that Microsoft has nothing to do with this deception. I like buying a hot dog, but just gave you the bread. Yeah, pretty much, Lord. Now, this right here is pretty special, right? This right here is pretty special. This pony went and decided to stick. He actually went through the effort of putting fake review scores on these games to make his tiny little PP feel better. My dude was so ashamed of how small he actually is that he decided that by doing this, it would give him some self-esteem. Yeah, I thought it was Dutch. And, maybe it finally allowed him to get that erection that he's always dreamed of. Because we all know that he's never going to, actually get laid or anything. I mean, the Remnant and the Remnant 2 drop was insane. That's just crazy, right? But, hey, let JGRO, they're never getting laid. This is as close to intimacy as they're obviously going to get. This is literally as close to a woman or a man, depending on what orientation they are, as they're going to get. So, you gotta let them jerk off to what they actually find the most attractive. And in this case, it's fake numbers with a yellow background. Oh, we know, Enrique. But to this pony, this is what gets them sexually motivated. I think we need to stop there. It's even got he's even got the cum coming out of his own tears. Look at it, you can see it right there. Right there, you can see. He's crying cum at the moment. That's how excited he is. That's how sad he is. But, we do need to be supportive in these times to people like this. Nah, not really. Now, this dude here, he doesn't even have a blue tick, so he can't even say he's engagement farming. He doesn't even have a blue tick to say he's engagement farming. And he says the PS Portal is better than the Steam Deck. Now, I don't know if this is actually him, but it does look like him. And I do need to fix the audio, so let's do that right now. Because I want to play this, because, good lord, if there's ever someone that's jerking off more to the PlayStation brand than this guy, hoo-wee! And I don't even know what it is, because he's not really that, no one cares about his opinion, but he still keeps appearing in my timeline. But this, just listen
to this with an open mind. And opening up that box, I really did feel this sense of excitement that this was a brand new piece of PlayStation hardware. You can tell that it is a really premium and well-crafted product. Sony have slapped an 8-inch LCD monitor right in the middle of a DualSense controller, and it's a bit like Frankenstein's monster at first, but when you're actually holding it in your hands, you realise how much more comfortable this is than a traditional handheld like a Switch or a Steam Deck. It's a little bit lighter than something like a Steam Deck as well, so you can hold it in bed much more comfortably, and the fact that the controller does actually protrude from the LCD itself, it means that you can even hold it in one hand if you need to
jerk off, right? That's what he's going to say, right? You can hold it playing with that tiny little knob on it. You know, we get it. Tiny little knob. You get it? While he's playing with a tiny little knob. Get it?
Pick something up while you are playing it. Super practical for parents.
Fucking hell. I did not expect him to say that. I did not expect him. Oh man. Sorry. I didn't expect him to say that on the back of what I just said. But look how tiny those analog sticks are. Like for someone like me who's got manly hands, big hands.
The device itself isn't actually as wide as I thought it looked on other people's videos, and I feel like it's actually quite a decent distance between your hands, so you're not putting too much strain on your shoulders when playing at kind of a tighter angle for a long period of time. And at the end of the day, this really is just a DualSense controller, so you have all those amazing haptic and rumble features, as well as a huge LCD display that you can use anywhere around the house. Apart from the analog sticks, which seem a little reduced compared to the main DualSense, all of the other buttons are pretty much exactly the same from what I can tell, and that's going to really help with...
How will the PlayStation Buds work? So there's a thing, the technology used on the PlayStation Portal is called PlayStation Link, and the Buds have the PlayStation Link technology. Instead of basically selling a £200 paperweight and letting the community use their current Bluetooth devices, they turned around and said, you know what? You'll buy anything we tell you, right? We can release a brick and you'll still buy it, right? As long as it has our PlayStation logo. And then people were like, yeah. And then they said, right, well, we've got £200 earbuds. What about our Bluetooth buds? Oh, no, Bluetooth. You need the PlayStation Link ones. And they're like, new PlayStation hardware! And Sony made another $200.
Consistency when going from one kind of controller to the other. Well, let's talk about that display because it really is the hero of the PS Portal. At 8 inches, it's just a little bit larger than my Steam Deck, but it gets a hell of a lot brighter. It runs in 1080p compared to other systems which are locked at 720p, and it's incredibly vibrant. It does only run up to 60Hz, which is definitely a consideration, but the colours on this look really beautiful. Everything is crisp, and I'm so impressed by the quality of these games considering it's just running through remote play. Another thing I'm really happy about is that the screen itself seems very resistant to fingerprints, which is important because the touch controls on the PlayStation 5 will be accessed through tapping on the screen itself.
This is a very much
and
PlayStation
they're quite
video.
well positioned next to the thumbsticks, so you don't...
But you need to stop. The Portal does less. I'll stick with my Steam Deck OLED. I would pick up the OLED, but at this point, it doesn't offer much over my... Well, it does offer a hell of a lot more over my Steam Deck, but I'm not going to do it. But it's my dude's a yikes, man. He has been coping real hard. Right, did you guys hear about Reforge Gaming? Did you hear about him? Like, there's some big news about Reforge. Did you hear it? Like, I'm talking really, really big news. Lord Blue, the next Steam Deck will be Steam Deck 2, and that will probably release in about 2 years, I think. That's what I'm waiting for. As for the Asus ROG Ally, I'm waiting for the OLED version, and then I'm going to commit to that as well. So, whole grain bread, for those that didn't know. Tomorrow I will talk about why I'm walking away from the console war and what that means for discussions, debates, and my content going forward. Lots of self-reflection and discussion led to this change. See you then. 10 seconds later. Thoughts on this? We don't share console sales anymore because it's all about the content and services. Also Xbox, we won't regularly tell you how many people subscribe to or use said services. And also Xbox. Oh, and we won't ever reveal how profitable our business is either. So, I mean, it literally took him like 10 seconds to go back on his word. Hey, Leaf Stormblaze. Edward, welcome back. And this is why Astro says, tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. He just can't. He can't. He's just so, what a waste of, and there we go. What he's using to get away. It'll take him a while to get away from the console war, so hopefully in time he'll make it. He'll get there eventually. Alex says, didn't even last a day. Jesus, man. Dreamcast guy got banned on YouTube, on Twitch, didn't he? He got search banned, so his stuff don't come up. I don't know if he's actually back again, if it's been cleared. But his posts have just disappeared. And when I went looking, he actually got a ban. He got a search ban, so he doesn't come up when you're looking for him or through the algorithm. This didn't last long, did it? Guess he didn't walk away yet, or he's scrolling. Yeah, he got a search ban on Twitch. Like a week or so ago. Not console warring anymore. Not on Twitch, sorry, Twitter. On X. Sorry, on did I say Twitch? On Twitter. Not even 3 days. You know, I mean, the guy literally can't help it. He's just a walking meme machine. So did you not hear about his coverage of Lies of P? He actually had a good take. One fucking good take in a long time. I actually think that Lies of P is a really good game. I haven't finished it yet because it's bloody hard and I don't like Souls games. I suck at Souls games. They piss me off because I keep dying. But this one has actually appealed to me and I am enjoying it, even if it is kicking my ass every single time. But he's actually been defending Lies of P on the fact that people are giving it a bad review. And it took a while for it to eventually come out as to why he's defending it. I'm going to play this clip. Let me know if you catch on to why he's actually defending Lies of P.
You might say, oh, people are bigger fans of those games on Steam or something. PS5, it has a 4.72 out of 5. That's 8,000 reviews. That is a 94%. A 4.72 out of 5. That's a 94. So that's even higher than the total Steam score. It's as high as the most recent 30 days that you can see on Steam. Now, Xbox is markedly lower, okay? It's coming in at a 3.9 out of 5,000 reviews. That's a 78%. I have not seen any evidence of performance issues on Xbox. This game runs fine there. It's lower on Xbox than even OpenCritic and Metacritic by 4 points. So the average of 82 that we saw on OpenCritic and Metacritic, Xbox is below that at 78 from the user scores. The user scores on Xbox are 14 to 16 points lower than Steam and PlayStation 5. Now, let's just put aside the comparison to the critics for just a moment. I think we are seeing both the good and the bad of Game Pass in this review score. A lot of people were able to try the game that they might not ever have given a second glance because it's a Souls-like. But you can also see what that does to the review score. It pulls it down.
Have you guys figured out why he's now been praising Lies of P? Does it make sense now why this, does it make sense why he was defending Lies of P and has picked it up as a topic of contention? He's been building up for days to talk about, to basically come to this conclusion. Basically, he's saying if a game is available on Game Pass, yes, more people get to play it and try it, but that also means that it appeals to people that are not the people that are not the audience will try it and give it a bad score. And what he's saying is, essentially, third-party publishers should not be putting their games on Game Pass for this reason. I mean, at the end of the day, if people don't enjoy the game, they've got a right to vote and put it on there, right? Why is that Game Pass's problem? These people could have went and bought the game as well, and then done the same thing. Then what? The game received a lot of popularity, a lot of notoriety. To turn around and say that it's Game Pass's fault is stupid. It's crazy to me. Really crazy. But this is what he was building up to for the past few days. Do you all remember Quantum Break? Not Quantum Break, Quantum Error. Do you remember Quantum Error? So Quantum Error actually sent him a review code. Right? They asked him if he wanted a review code. He said yes, and they sent him one. So when they sent him the review code, he refused to review it, even though he asked for it. And apparently, this has actually, because the Quantum Error devs actually made a public commotion out of this, other publishers actually saw this and have decided that they're not going to give him any form of sponsorship or review codes because he disrespected the devs of Quantum Error. And now he's trying to blame content creators, people like me, for the fact that he's not getting a review code anymore. Getting a review code and not reviewing the game did yourself no favors. You've got to stop playing the victim and start taking accountability for your actions. Yeah, but how is putting the game onto Game Pass and giving it to more people a bad thing? That is what he was saying. He was saying that the fact that it's on Game Pass is a bad thing. That is what he was insinuating. Now, what you're saying, Emmanuel, actually makes sense. But I'm willing to bet that that is 100% not what he was going for. Yeah, he refused to play it. And the developers got really upset about it. So now that decision has come back to haunt him. Because he went out publicly to say that he's not going to play it because he doesn't feel like giving the game a negative review. And he basically looked at the game and said the game is trash before he even played it. Now, there are a number of games that I played that you all don't like, right? But I actually really enjoyed. And I don't mind naming them. I really think Anthem was a really good game. It was one of my favorite games. I really loved it. I covered it for quite some time, and I really enjoyed the flying, the javelins, the builds, everything. To me, it was a really good, solid game. The only thing missing was content. Once you got past the water paint graphics, and they did improve it later, I had a lot of fun with Babylon's Fall. Again, a lot of you may have hated that game, but I actually had a lot of fun. I'm really sad that it's actually gone because I probably would to this day still be playing it. But the moment they announced that it was ending service, I dropped it there and then like a pile of bricks. Like I said in my video, the moment these service games or anything announces that they're shutting the servers down, you stop playing because there's no point. For all he knows, Quantum Error could have been a game that he fell in love with. For whatever reason, it could have resonated with him. There's always that chance. But he refused to even give that game that chance. Right? Exactly, Edward. Like, I've played a number of games where people are just completely shitting on it. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, for me, this year, one of my, in my top 5 or 10 games that I played this year would be Forspoken. You wouldn't think that based on the way they ridicule the game, but it's such a fun game to play. So to turn around and not give a game a chance, especially considering you asked for a review code and the developers actually gave you a review code to go and look at it, and then you turn around and go, nah, it got badly reviewed, so I'm not even going to touch it. That's disrespectful. It's disrespectful, to the developers and to the whole industry, I think. You don't know why they make live service, why they make them live service games? Well, let me answer that question for you. So, live service games are really difficult to actually succeed. Right? They are extremely difficult to succeed. 1 in 10 has a chance of succeeding. The other 9 are guaranteed to fail. For a number of reasons. Number 1, the game has to do better than all the others out there. Number 2, it has to be something quite special and attention-grabbing because it needs to pull you away from the likes of Destiny, Warframe, The Division. Games that have already got an established player base. There's only so many live service games you can play, right? Don't forget, many people also have a gacha game or some kind of a mobile game that they're playing as well. So your time is limited. There's only so many games that you can fit into your day where you're going to go in and do your dailies and your bounties and whatever. Most games can't keep your attention because of the way it's designed. They try to keep you trapped in that ecosystem and it fails. So 9 out of 10 games will fail. But if one of them succeed, just one, out of 10, 20, or 30 attempts, if one succeeds, that will see you fine for the next 10 to 20 years and will pretty much fund the rest of the company. That is why they want live service. because the microtransactions that will come from that one successful venture out of all the flops will cover the cost of all the flops and then bring you even more revenue. It's the revenue gain that comes from it. That's it. The amount of money that a game brings in that is live service is astronomical. Now, I know people are going to bring up Destiny and how they missed their targets by 45%. And my question to that is, what was that for? What was the target? If they came up with some unrealistic target of $5 billion for one, for a quarter or for a year, and they made $2.5 billion and they were disappointed with that, well, that's a them problem for making unrealistic targets. Square Enix is known for this historically, where they turn around and say, look at games and say, oh, the game didn't meet sales expectations, and then you find out that they expected it to sell, more than a SpaceX project going to the Mars or something. But most fail. That's the problem. But what they hope is that one of those that are failing succeed. And if that one succeeds, just look up, like I said, Destiny, Call of Duty Mobile. These are, I know Call of Duty Mobile is like a gacha game, but it's still a live service. It's periodically updated. It is ongoing. At the end of the day, they just bring in way too much dirty money. Like a video I watched earlier today, this person said, truthfully, nobody has any exclusive because a lot of the PlayStation games are now on PC. Chris, PlayStation still has exclusives. They and Nintendo are the only ones that have exclusives right now. Microsoft, not really, because you can play on PC. When you look at Mario Wonders, the only place you can play Mario Wonders is on the Nintendo Switch, unless you emulate it. PlayStation games, is Ragnarok even available on PC yet? Is Gran Turismo 7 available on PC? There's a lot of these games. The Last of Us 2 isn't yet available on PC. Spider-Man 2 isn't available on PC. So eventually they may come to PC, but as long as it's not day and date, they will have their exclusives. But Nintendo is a prime example of just an exclusive walking machine. Yeah, PlayStation still has exclusives. Guaranteed. Brave Exvius is the only one for Square Enix, which I think does well. And then Final Fantasy 14 too. What's the other one that they have? Final Fantasy is it War of the Wolves? Something like that. That's the one I used to play, but it suffers the same problem that I'm guessing I don't know if Brave Exvius suffers from that, but Ever Crisis does as well. It requires too much of your time. You need to play it. Yeah, War of the Visions. That's it. But I played that quite religiously. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, and I think the War of the Visions storyline is actually pretty good. The betrayals and everything was good, but the amount of time it needed you to invest in that game, you literally couldn't turn the game off for 24 hours if you wanted to stay competitive. I'm not joking. If you wanted to stay competitive and actually push ahead of everyone, you kind of needed to grind 24 hours a day. They even introduced a mode on your mobile that basically allowed your mobile to go into standby mode while you're playing the game, which basically goes into ultra low power. The game goes to like a quarter of its required performance. You can barely see anything moving, but it's like doing it in the background, so it doesn't consume your battery while it's actually doing it. The fact that they even had to come up with this goddamn fucking idea tells you that the game is way too grindy. And yet that's what they want. They want you to live in that game. But you know what it did to me? It told me to get the fuck out. And so I did, and I've never looked back. I mean, that is a sure way of them telling me, I don't want you playing my game. And then I started playing Ever Crisis, which I think is a really solid game. It's got a really good story with the first Soldier side storyline. I think it's actually really cool. But again, that suffers the same problem as War of the Visions. It requires you to grind 24/7. It's a mobile game, for God's sake, even though it is coming to Steam. War of the Visions collaborations are nice. Is it Viera or Vienna? The ninja? She was amazing. The Video Game Awards are a sham. I think when I last tried to go back to War of the Visions, Lord, they increased the amount of stars you could get or whatnot. I think that was a bit too much for me. Is it really shutting down? No way. That is such a shame. I guess, damn. I hope it actually works on the deck. That would be kind of cool. I'd definitely give it another bash if it is. But there was another Final Fantasy mobile game called Mobius. I don't know if any of you actually saw it. It was graphically really, really impressive. And best of all, it actually had a canon Final Fantasy X storyline and a canon Final Fantasy 13 storyline that was in there. That was really cool. But they shut that down as well because no money. I mean, most people didn't even know it existed. So there is that. They have a problem with advertising. Yeah, it did. But it was such a good game. I really liked it. I really liked the battle system. It really was interesting with the elements. Do you think Xbox will say... I think it's going to be shadow dropped on December the 7th. I think when Phil Spencer takes the stage and is talking and is revealing games, he's going to turn around and say, right, for all of you that want to play Baldur's Gate 3 right now, if you're at home watching this, if you switch your Xbox on right now, go download it. I think that's what's going to happen. Uh-oh. Wait. Where's the pony alert? I didn't see it. Oh, there we go. Actually, they do. They do. People don't want to admit to it, but they do, because Ori was nominated, and it was an Xbox game at the time. Even though people want to, obviously admit that, it is an Xbox game. And if you really want to get technical, now that they own Activision and Blizzard, they have multiple more. Leafstorm, an offline version of Mobius would have been great, but at some point it's going to get boring, right? Because there's no additional content. That's the problem with these games. They need content. But these are the 10 votes from the fans. I am really surprised to see Genshin Impact there and Honkai Star Rail. I genuinely am surprised to see those in there for the 10 games for round 2 of Players Voice Award. I'm actually really, really surprised. But do you know what game I want to win this award? Do you know what game it is? Hey, Kong isn't there. Like, leave poor Kong alone, man. That guy's suffered enough. But do you know which game I really want to win from this list? I mean, my heart says Alan Wake 2, right? Because I think that's the best game in this list. But my soul wants to see Twitter burn and melt and to just lose its goddamn shit. So I want Hogwarts Legacy to win. I want Hogwarts Legacy to win. Spider-Man 2 won't win it. I mean, it could actually. There's a lot of ponies out there. But there's way more Genshin fans out there than there are PlayStation fans. But I want Hogwarts to win it. I want Hogwarts. Because that will be an interesting day on X, right? Let's face it. That will be a very interesting game, a day on X. Because they are all going to come out of the woodworks. I mean, they then turned around and made The Walking Dead, and even that's trash. But yeah, I want Hogwarts to win it. Just for the salt. I want to see it. I really, really want to see it. I just want to see the complete meltdown of people when that happens. I'm just going to sit there and just enjoy the show as it all just comes melting down. Mary Jane too. Right, Mary Jane is more powerful than Spider-Man and Miles Morales put together. Hogwarts probably has the most fans out of all of them, but the audience probably doesn't care to vote for Game of the Year. I mean, honestly, I didn't even know about the Player's Voice Game of the Year. I think Final Fantasy 16 and Hi-Fi Rush should have been in there instead of Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact. But I think overall, that one's fine. That one's fine. That should have never been there. That's ongoing, so that doesn't really count for Game of the Year, right? That one's fine. That doesn't count because that's ongoing. That one counts. That one counts. That was a 2005 game, and that one counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4 games shouldn't even be in that list. But Phantom Liberty is a DLC. I don't think DLC should count for this. There's a separate category for that. But, those games shouldn't count. Like, I'm happy to put Spider-Man in there, mainly because it was released this year, right? It deserves a place. I think it was a good game. It was marred with bugs that ruined my experience, personally. And I wasn't looking for bugs. I was just playing the game normally. And I had so many issues when I was playing it after the day one patch. But it is what it is. And I reflected that in my overall review score. But I think those 4 shouldn't be there. You might be right, Leaf. You might be right. I mean, there's not much you can say about it. I mean, I did think, like, when it comes to Spider-Man 2, they went a little cheap with not showing what happened to the other villains. You just found their, I guess, parts of their corpses inside Craven's place, where he had already dispatched them. It would have been nice to see, that actually taking place. Him actually even if it was just a cutscene, just to see what happened, rather than just finding remnant pieces of the villains that were part of the previous games. I think that was a bit of thing. I mean, there's always that. I do QA, so bugs generally do find me. QA is my profession after all. was in the games industry, and now in the digital industry. I love my job. Take it easy, Lord Blue. Thanks for stopping by, my dude. I appreciate it. But yeah, so I think some of those games in that list shouldn't be there. So what do you think about this from PlayStation? Discovery entitlements affected titles. As of 31 December 2023, due to our content licensing arrangements with content providers, you will no longer be able to watch any of your previously purchased Discovery content, and the content will be removed from your library. So all that stuff you paid for, Sony is just saying, bye. I mean, it's down to the provider, yeah, but if you've paid for the content, it should still remain, right? You've paid for the license to have that content. The content should still be there. If a game comes off that you've paid for, it's still there. But they're removing the content off your device and your platform and your library. I can understand the content going away, like the channel going away. I think Sony is just getting rid of it entirely. Right? I think they're just washing their hands of it. Now, what they should have announced here at the very least, right, is what Google did when they shut down Stadia. They refunded everyone that bought their games. You know, when Stadia was shut down, I actually got my money back. I think I got like £220 back, something like that, which was nice. I was happy with that. You know, it actually came in handy. But I appreciate the fact that they gave me a refund. It doesn't show like there's not even a refund policy here. You're just losing content you paid for. I mean, I think what they've done here, right, is they looked at Destiny and Bungie, right? And they said, right, so Bungie has introduced the content vault, where content you've paid for was removed. And a lot of the players were like, who cares? I've already been there, done that. And they thought, well, if Bungie can do it, and we own Bungie, maybe we can do it too. Not too much of a far-stretched idea. He's not invited me yet, dude. If he invites me, I'll definitely show up. Again, click here for a full list of the affected titles that will no longer be supported. But nothing about, you know, your purchases being refunded. But yeah, if Boomstick wants to invite me to his show, I would, I'll definitely turn up. It is one of the things I want to do going forward. Trying to get more involved with the community podcast. I am like jumping into other people's streams as well. So, as you may have noticed, jumping in here and there just to show support. Suddenly they wanted these Xbox games. Now they'll be back to hating. They realize they won't be going to. Yeah, pretty much, Walter Boy. Pretty much. Sony, because it's bought on the Sony platform. At the end of the day, this is something that Sony needs to sort out with the provider, because Sony gets a cut from the sale. So both of them are involved in this. But the fact is, Sony isn't even bothering to do anything. I'm going to be watching it and streaming it, hopefully. It is 1 a.m. that it starts for me, so it is rather late. So I may be a bit zombified, but the plan is to stream it, so hopefully that'll be good. But this over here is good because Germany, they have no fucks given. They have no F's given. What's this? No, PS5 doesn't have 6 or 7 first-party exclusives. They literally have like 2 or 3, and I think it's 2 native PS5 games. I don't even know how many exclusives they do have. Oh, yeah, that exclusive Final Fantasy 15 content. Oh, shit, that was bad. Square Enix took the royal piss with that. Oh, man, that was bad. That was bad. But apparently, Germany is now taking Sony to court. So, if you purchase a game and you download it, you lose the right to your to a refund, right? So now Germany are saying you need to change these policies, like post haste. Store credit needs to be used within 24 months or it's gone. That needs to change so it lasts longer than 24 months. Parents are obligated to pay for any purchases that children under 18 make. I mean, to be fair, parents should just lock their account. They shouldn't leave their accounts unchecked. That's a parent problem, in my opinion. But I guess the CPA in Germany is trying to be all-inclusive, like they are quite aggressively. But if Sony don't change these, and believe me, they will change these, they can't sell PlayStation games in Germany. And I don't think they want to stop selling games in Germany. So a lot of companies, a lot of regulators are really going after Sony now because of just how much they have abused their market power. Right? Because they've got this super position as being number one, they've been dictating the flow for quite some time. And with their aggressiveness with the whole Activision, Blizzard, Microsoft merger, it looks like it woke up a couple of sleeping wolves, and now they're all really going for them. I actually, I can't remember how far I got into Ragnarok. I just got really bored of it. And I hear a lot of the same thing from people that actually played it. They got a certain way into the game and it just got really boring. I did want to go back and finish it at some point, but a lot of people say the same thing when it comes to Ragnarok, where they got to a certain point in the game and it's just bland, boring, more of the same, no innovation. What's the... Hey? Why did my Steam Deck come on? No, I forgot, Atreus turning into a bear doesn't really count for innovation. At least not in my eyes. Alright, so that was all the news I had for today. But this is going to be big. And if this changes in Germany, it's going to change across the whole of Europe. And most likely will change across pretty much global. So, if you're a consumer of PlayStation, you want these changes. You want them to win. Trust me. It'll be better for you. I thought 2018 was actually really good. I enjoyed 2018. Because it was different. I think Sony has a lot of problems at the moment, Chris. They've got the regulators now suing them for 7.9 billion, which there's a good chance they're going to win because of their unfair practices. You've got this now in Germany, basically telling them that you're going to lose. if a consumer buys a game like they do on Steam or on Xbox, they have a right to a refund. Currently on PlayStation, you do not. Now, one thing I will say to people that are on PlayStation, if you buy a game and Sony doesn't give you a refund, I've seen people suggesting go to your bank and do a chargeback. Never, ever, ever, whether you're on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, Square Enix's online games, WoW, Nintendo, no matter what company you are doing this with, do not do a chargeback. If you do a chargeback, you will lose your account indefinitely. You will be permabanned. On the very best chance, they are going to put minus credit into your account and then add some on top, because the moment you do a chargeback, the company that you're doing it to gets a huge fine. And they don't take kindly to that because it leaves a stain on their account. Do not do it. I know people are recommending to go and do chargebacks. Do not do it. Not if you value your account. Your account most likely will get banned. Hey, Power Boss, how's it going? So that is one thing, like, don't do it, guys. Don't do it. I know people are recommending it. Just don't do it. What's all this? Xbox? Nah. I interviewed Phil Spencer yesterday to discuss all things Xbox. I think this was a good interview. It outlined a lot of information. Finally, puts to rest the silly news. What the fuck is Gaz doing, man? You hate to see the Hooven ones wrong as per usual. Xbox isn't going third party, Phil Spencer. Look, I hate to say it, but wasn't these guys all like cheering on it at the same time? But the CFO needs some help. I think he was drunk. We can agree on that. It has arrived, and thank you for being such an amazing person. Starfield is such a good game. What the hell is all this? Is that for real? 18 plus rated games are now appearing like this. Baldur's Gate freeze. Fuck's sake, YouTube. What the hell? I did Leaf Storm. That was unbelievable. Like, I don't even think that's even with Starlink, I don't think that's possible. I wouldn't believe it until I get to do it. And I'm not buying it. So, Wed Wagon, who was cheering the CFO on because, the Wed Wagon likes to jerk off to anything that's Xbox negative news. He started saying, and is still saying, believe the CFO, not the CEO. My dude needs some emotional help. Oh, look. It's the Kansas dude. But this guy needs to be he just needs to get his account removed. He is such a toxic piece of shit. That's actually interesting, isn't it? Do you think there's anything in this? Can you imagine if Xbox bought the marketing rights? I mean, it would probably cost about the same amount as it did to get Activision Blizzard, but holy shit, that would be a massive win for Xbox. That's what I'm saying. People are saying that there might be some correlation between it. On the 4th, you're going to get the Halo Infinite new trailer. Is this for the multiplayer or for the actual game? Oh, him? This is what I was saying, Droid. He's him, Unleashed, Red Dragon, and Hyped are literally the most toxic out there. You've got other PlayStation fanboys that are generally, they're tolerable, they're okay, but those 4 are beyond recognition. They're beyond saving. There's nothing you can tell them. They literally have a shrine at home with like voodoo dolls of like the Xbox execs that they're trying to poke to kill and stuff. I'm pretty sure of it. They have a shrine that they pretty much go and worship their PlayStation platform to destroy Xbox. It's not going to Game Pass, Sappho. We all know this. We all know it's not going to Game Pass. I don't think even Microsoft can bankroll that. I mean, they could, but it financially just would not be worth it. I don't know. J-Dub blocked me some time ago. I don't see anything J-Dub says anymore. I know he has a lot of bad takes, but I can't be bothered to log into another Twitter just to see how bad his takes are. Maybe one day he'll unblock me so I can laugh at him again. But until then, I really can't do anything when it comes to that guy. But yeah, that's interesting. I think it'll be going to Game Pass day and date and not coming to PS5 for months. What? GTA 6? No way. No way, Power Boss. No chance in hell. Nah, I can't see it. I might get proved wrong on the day, but I can't see it. It could possibly be true, Sappho. Yeah, I can believe that. They've also been using accessories like the PSVR 2 and the PlayStation Portal to inflate their sales numbers as well. That was revealed. It was quickly deleted, but once you post something on the internet, it never disappears truly. You can find it in the archives. And yeah, they use accessories to inflate their numbers too as console sales. But don't tell that to the ponies because they'll deny it, wholeheartedly. I mean, GTA 6 would... I mean, if they made GTA 6 exclusive to Xbox, it would shift consoles. Period. It would shift consoles. Like, if you want to sell Xbox consoles, that's how you do it. Right? There's no two ways about it. It'll be like, hey guys, Xbox Series X is now exclusive. GTA 6 is now exclusive to Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. And the moment you see that happen, you'll see every single online store selling out of Xbox Series X's and Series S's. Hey, Josh, how's it going? Wonder what else they're counting as consoles. I mean, it'll be interesting, right, Crinsby? It's the moment that came out, it was kind of sad. It kind of diminishes how well they're doing. I know, Lord. I know. I released a video saying exactly the same thing. Saying exactly the same thing. I mean, they even started making box arts with Halo Infinite on it. Come on. That is so sad. And then if you read the tweets later on, they're like, yeah, I just did it just for the fun of it to debate and all that. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. That might be the next camera I go for eventually. But right now I have the 1080p version. That's actually a really good deal. If you don't have a Series X, for $349, you get Diablo 4 as well. That's actually really good. Siri, stop listening. There you go. Happy holidays from Sarah Bond. The countdown to 2024 begins. 31 favorite games from the community. Quantum Break. This is a really good game. I really hope they make a sequel to it with Remedy Games. It deserves it. I'm sad that he didn't have a much bigger role in Alan Wake 2, but I'm happy he was in there. What's an easy cop-out excuse? Rest fee? Josh, they're not removing it, they're revamping it. So they're removing the app, but they're streamlining it into the actual OS itself. So you don't need the app itself to do it. It kind of like auto updates. It's going to auto update. You don't need to claim it. Once you've actually got the achievements or the points, it'll just automatically give you the points and stuff. I know people keep jumping on, especially the PlayStation fans saying, oh, they're removing it, all this and all that. They're not actually doing that. No worries at all. Josh? Has Amazon gone back to normal price? Fucking J-Rock. Sugar Games. He'll only mention Game Pass. He never said games themselves weren't coming. Brilliant. Tell her hoofed. Oh, J-Rock. Take my like. You deserve it. Oh, God. Is there any other stories you guys want to talk about? Check out? I think that's pretty much everything I had to cover for today. I honestly think the PlayStation lawsuit goes through. PlayStation won't make 2025 much less. If the PlayStation lawsuit goes through and they do get fined $8 billion, I think they're in big trouble. I think they're in big trouble. Right, I could talk about that real quick. Baldur's Gate will take over the Thursday. That would be embarrassing to Jeff. People who, yeah. I was assured the smartest PlayStation fans that Xbox is going third party and that I could play Hellblade 2 and more on my PS5 soon. Are you telling me those geniuses are wrong once again? Say it ain't so! I mean, the fact that it's already on a PC, it's the hilarious part, right? Phil Spencer and Tim Stewart, I mean, they're still trying to damage control and trying to get on top. It's sad. So Sony fanboys getting ragdolled today. I knew it would end up like this. They just aren't smart enough to be in the conversation. Stuck on that 2010s plastic box mentality. I guess this is the big news, right? This is the biggest news. No plans for Xbox Game Pass on PlayStation and Nintendo. I did say he needed to come out and say something just to, end the conversation there and then. Although I still think that Tim Stewart was drunk when he made those statements. It's the only excuse I can think of. Proc77 makes me almost ashamed to be a vet. Yeah, that guy is sad. That guy is really sad. And the way he actually insults people is degrading. I'm surprised his account is still on Twitter, honestly. He's a very, very little man. He's I get console warring is one thing. I get, console warring is one thing, right? I get it. But when you go to the point where you have to degrade someone as a human being to something else just so you can get your point across, I think you are a low-life piece of shit. Everyone can banter a little bit, but there's a line you don't cross. And people like him repeatedly cross that line. I don't give two fucks if he's suffering from PTSD or not. The fact is, I know people that do suffer from that shit, and they don't do what he's doing. He actually actively goes out of his way to degrade human beings just for his personal entertainment. And that is fucked up. That is well and truly fucked up. Didn't you guys... The notification should have went out. I'll have to check that out again on my Discord. It should have gone out. But if nothing else, if it doesn't go out next time, I'll just manually do it myself. I'm getting tired of those bots not working. I actually think Puerto Rock is worse. English story trailer for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is out. Our boy Kiryu is tired, but he's got some... Okay, let's listen to it. Let's see if it's actually improved.
I just don't think retirement's in the cards for me. Sure, maybe I could stop and settle down. But I'd rather put what time I've got left to work. I have to. It's the only way I could ever make amends. I've been part of this since the beginning, after all. I'll take on the Yakuza's past. But you... I want you to handle their future.
It's bad. It's bad, man. It just doesn't work. I'm sorry, Young. It's not that you might have a good voice for other stuff, and I've heard Young in other stuff that he's done, and it's worked. This doesn't work. It just sounds so disconnected. I forgot about that. I think they made a big mistake. Leaf, I think they should never have done that. See, there's certain things that you don't do. That is one of them. You absolutely should not do that. And I think they made a big mistake. And they learned the hard way. You should be on TTS. I don't even know who Sean is. I'll have to check it out. Looks like I gotta call it a night getting my orders from the missus. Thanks for the stream, man. No worries, Steve. But guys, so I have actually got a sponsorship coming up for portable monitors. I guess Steve won't be here to see it, but I'm basically going to need to make a dedicated video for it, so hopefully you guys will turn up for it. I'll show you the monitor that I'm actually going to be reviewing. You may be interested, may not be interested, but if you can turn up and actually drop a view when it does drop, that would be amazing. It would go a long way. Where is it? It is not there. Where is it? Okay. Okay, so apparently I can't actually show it because it doesn't want to know. Maybe if I open it up in another browser. Wait. What are you doing? All right, so that's that. Get rid of ad block. That should work now. Right, so that's the monitor that I'm going to be reviewing. It's actually well, I'm hoping it's a nice monitor. I'll find out soon enough. They reached out, and I'll be definitely checking this review. I'll be releasing a dedicated video for it, showing like Xbox, Steam Deck connectivity, work connectivity. They do have other stuff, and they are going to provide me with a 30% discount code for all of you that, if you're interested on anything on the website, not just on this product itself. So hopefully you guys will check it out when that video is available, once I get the product. But yeah, this is all thanks to all of you who have shown your support, turning up to videos, and, you know, showing your support in what I do, the content I release, you know, helping the channel grow. And as it does, these are the types of opportunities that do come across. And then I can negotiate with them for, you know, a discount for all of you when it comes to purchasing certain stuff from that website. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you to all of you that do show up on a weekly basis, on, you know, a regular basis, to my videos, to the streams, and, you know, drop those likes, drop those, you know, subs to improve the channel numbers. It really helps, and it goes a long way in helping me get these opportunities. So seriously, a massive thank you to all of you that are continuously turning up day in, day out, week in, week out. So, you know, thanks so much. I'm not saying you have to buy any monitors. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But I'm going to probably do like a premiere for that video. So if we could get people turning up, that would be great. Even if we can get like 2,000-3,000 views, that would be amazing, because it would just show them that there is interest. And if, you know, like I said, I'm gonna be honest with the review of the screen. If it's nice, good. There are some really good options on that website with some of the monitors. They're all portable, mind you, so there is that. But it is you will get like a 30% discount, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, it's worthwhile. So hopefully it will, at the end, if nothing else, it'll be worth the watch. That's totally fine, Stormblaze. Just turning up to the video is more than enough for me. Support attack to you by Carlos Jose Hernandez. Thank you very much with that 20 I think that's Mexican dollars. Thank you very much, dude. I'll take my cut in form of Bitcoin or check. Go away, sir. But yeah, I seriously, guys. I know I've been badgering on with like the like challenges and the subs and whatnot. This is why it's important, because you get opportunities like this. There was a couple of opportunities that I went for with collaborations, and basically due to my channel size, they said no. So this is why, even though people say it doesn't mean anything, it does, because it opens doors for great opportunities like this. Like, for example, what is it? Like an energy companies like G Fuel and stuff like that, because I drink a lot of energy drinks. I know it's bad for you, but I try to get the healthier ones. But they've also like turned around and said no, because my channel just isn't big enough. So these sorts of things really help. That's why I do keep badgering on about it. Just tossing it out there, but the Sony community has ticked me off enough that I'd really enjoy Microsoft getting rights to GTA 6 while watching certain reactions, only to be beaten by Microsoft. I mean, I can see potentially them going for Square Enix at some point, even though I don't think they will, but I can see it. But like I said, GTA 6 would cost them an enormous amount of money. But if they want to sell... Remember how I was saying that they need certain exclusives, right? They need something to shift consoles. This is what I'm talking about. Now, obviously, GTA 6 is massive. I'm not talking... That would be ridiculous. But getting like any form of exclusivity or marketing deal on GTA 6 will shift consoles like there's no tomorrow. But this is what I'm talking about. If they want to be in that position where they're shifting console, they need those high-profile games, whether it's a timed... And when I say exclusive, I'm saying timed exclusive, right? Not indefinite. I don't believe any game should be indefinitely exclusive. I don't mind it being timed, but indefinite, I think, is always bad. But I think these are the type of things that Microsoft need to do in order to get back on that position where they're shifting consoles a lot faster. Hit up Boomstick. He mentioned that he wants you on one of his shows. Oh, did he? Okay. I'll definitely hit him up. I have been dropping by and supporting his show and stuff. Like I said, I do like supporting fellow creators. Hey, what's happened here? It doesn't move. My chat just froze. Someone say something in chat real quick. Literally say the word something. Or 1, 2, 3. Or anything. Do a number 1. Okay, there we go. It's now moving again. Thanks. It froze for a second. Microsoft isn't going after consoles. It's Game Pass Microsoft is interested in. But yes. Yeah, it's working out. It froze for a little bit. So, Edward, this is the thing, right? I get what you're saying there, and I agree. Game Pass is the platform. Xbox, PC, xCloud, those are accessories to the platform, which is Game Pass. Now, I know I'm looking like I'm holding a pair of boobs. Don't worry. It's all part of the plan. Now, what I'm saying is, as a third-party publisher, I want my game to be... What do you mean? Wait. You're chatting shit again, right? Yeah, he's chatting shit. No sound. Stop making me check, for God's sake, Taz. God damn it. I will repeatedly say this, whether people want to agree with me or not, it's fine. But as a third-party publisher, unless I'm going to be on Game Pass, I'm going to release my games on the ecosystem, on the platform that has the most buyers. Now, Xbox is huge, right? It's got PC, it's got cloud, it's got Xbox. But the only platform that counts is Xbox. Not the 400 million PC users, not the 1 billion cloud users, but the only platform that counts is the 20 million Xbox users. The others are surplus. They have their own way of playing their games. Now, if the game is on Game Pass, then Microsoft have already paid for that exclusivity to be on Game Pass. That's different. But if a third-party publisher is releasing their game as a standalone on Xbox, the only market that counts is Xbox. And the only way that they're going to get better deals, better offers, or just more games coming to that console is if they have a bigger market share. If more people own Xboxes. So, yes, I agree. Game Pass is the platform. It has been the platform for quite some time. And I've repeatedly said this multiple times on X, or Twitter as it was back then, in my videos. I'm not ever going to deny that. But as Phil Spencer said as well yesterday in the interview with Jez, Xbox is the core foundation. They need to improve on that to attract more partners, to attract more publishers, to release their games on that platform, knowing that their games will sell to a wider audience. If that makes sense. As long as the timing works, Power Boss, that could definitely work. Seth, go away. They do not. Why do you think that is, Mark? I hear you well. The only thing they could do with Japanese devs is to get deals to release on Game Pass day one. I guess like Sega, I don't think they could buy Namco when they own all the anime games. Well, Namco doesn't really own all the anime games. They own certain rights to them, but you'll notice that when it comes to the West, certain games, anime games get changed, or some things get removed because the actual rights, unlike in Japan, where generally one or two people own the rights to the anime. In the West, there's like 90 people that own the rights to one character. One owns the rights to his left arm, the other one to his right arm, the other one to his penis, the other one to his chest, his man boobs, to his teeth. And so everyone wants a piece of that pie, and they want it at an equal cost. Hey, Multi, how's it going? Chaos, can you see Baldur's Gate 3 being a day one release, day one for Game Pass? I can, and I reckon they're going to shadow drop it as well. So, but, Sega has said that they want to release Persona 6 on all platforms worldwide at the same time to maximize sales. So I think more and more companies are starting to realize that just releasing it on one platform isn't the way to go. They need to release it on thing. That is dope. Neo Geo, I always wanted one of those. I never did get one. I didn't want to say anything, but I had my finger on the volume, so it was my fault. In the end. It would be funny if Baldur's Gate 3. I think it's going to be. I think they're going to shadow drop it. I wish someone had investment in my. Perfect sense, and I agree, but still need to balance costs and benefits of any deal, or GTA 6 would work as a loss leader. See, yes and no, Edward. Look at it this way. If they invested, say, I don't know, 10 billion in GTA 6. I'm just making that number hypothetically up, right? I don't know what it would cost them, honestly, but I'd assume it's at least going to be 3 or 4 billion, right? Considering the game costs 2 billion, if they made double that, I think Take-Two would be happy. On top of that, they're going to make dirty money off the shark cost anyway, so they'll make enough money. But, right, how many consoles would it shift if it was exclusive? That's the question. Now, if that 20 million Xbox consoles went to 60 million within a week, to me, that's a worthwhile investment. Because now you've gained 40 million more Xbox console users. And if 20 million of those get Game Pass at core, that's an additional $1.5 billion. right? So you're already looking at, with the console sales, with the GTA sales, with the Game Pass sales, they've already made their money back. And even if they are going to lose, that loss is severely diminished. But overnight, they've gone from 20 million to 60 million Xbox Series consoles. That's huge. So now when the publishers turn around and say, right, what platform are we releasing our games on? And they look and say, look, PlayStation's got 45 million, Xbox has got 60 million. Let's go speak to Microsoft first and see what they say. See, the market shifts straight away because all these publishers care about is money and how much money they can make off the platforms. That's it. I hope you're not. I mean, I'm actually watching the stream as well, and I'm not seeing any issues on my end. Like, I mean, they own all that stuff like Dragon Ball and One Piece, which with Jump Force 2, which is sad because they have a monopoly on all of them. Yeah, they do. If that happens, at least 15% will jump on the other console. Yeah, that's the other thing. A bunch of people from PlayStation will pick up a Series X as well. I think they want to sell more consoles, but this has been a weird console generation. PS5 has not sold where the PS4 was at the same time that gen. That's because of chip shortages, right? We had the global pandemic. We had chip shortages, silicon shortages. So there was a lot of things going wrong when the consoles launched. In my opinion, both the series consoles and the PS5 should have delayed their release by another year. They should have got stock well in advance, like in well good supply to be able to, sustain. But instead, what happened was the stock was so limited, scalpers decided to ruin it for everyone else. Like, I was extremely lucky when I actually got mine. Massive shout out to Shop2, who actually sorted me out. I actually pre-ordered from them like almost and paid most of it off. Well, at least half of it, I think. Yeah, I think it was half of it I paid off. I basically just put in like a £250 for the Series X and $250 for the PlayStation 5 as a blind drop-down payment on my pre-orders. And they actually contacted me and said, look, we're opening up the sales at 9 a.m., but as you've dropped, I paid half of it already, we'll open up the store for you with this link at 8 a.m. Come in and buy it. And I appreciate that. Although I did drop most of the money in. I'm not sure for how many people they did that, but that's how I got mine. And honestly, judging my luck, my PS5 is faulty. Yes, I'm not joking. My PS5 is actually faulty. But when I contacted Sony at the time to get it replaced, they told me that they didn't have any in stock to replace it with. And I could send it back for them to try and repair it. But I decided against it. And for those of you wondering what's wrong with my PS5, if I put it in rest mode, when it comes back on, all Bluetooth connectivity doesn't work. Dude, I hope you've had an awesome holiday, and just go get some rest, dude. Thanks for stopping by, Josh. I appreciate it. But go get some rest, my dude. I appreciate the thought of stopping by. Mark, I agree. Yeah, Safo. So my PS5 actually is actually faulty. It was faulty out the box. Take it easy, Lion. Thanks for stopping by. If you are going, or did? Oh no, you're not going. Josh is saying later to you. Sorry, my bad. Am I the a-hole? I'm giddy for the lawsuits when parents who couldn't afford PS5s find out the portals they bought are bricks this Christmas morning. Not really. I mean, honestly, it was like my brother, who he's full PlayStation. right? He lives and dies by the PlayStation brand. He's also an Apple fan, so that kind of explains everything. No offense to anyone that's an Apple fan in there, but they kind of match. He actually pre-ordered the PlayStation Portal, thinking it was actually a PlayStation portable hardware. And then I turned around and told him, no, it's just a remote play. And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, which part of remote play didn't you understand? And he goes, I don't know, I get that, but I'm doing that already with like my tablet and stuff. And I said, I know. So he goes, well, what's the point in that? And I said, dedicated device. Cancel pre-order. A lot of people actually don't know that it's a remote play device, and they're buying it thinking it's actually the next Vita or the next PSP. Because it has the name, it's got the same acronym for the name. It's really bad that they did that. They should have chose something else. I don't know why it's not getting published in the Xbox One era. They would go on about any little thing Microsoft did for ages. I actually covered this in my video, Leaf. When it comes to the media, they will support anything that's popular. If the tables turn and Microsoft becomes popular, you will see how they will dog on PlayStation like there's no tomorrow. But because PlayStation is the most popular at the moment, they want to stay in PlayStation's good books. That's it. I had to get Series X off a scalper for $680. It's been worth every penny. I love my Series X. My wife loves it as well. Yeah, it was bad. You know, both platforms should have delayed it by a year, especially since there was hardly any games out, right? There's hardly anything worthwhile out. One video just completely died. One-time video just completely died. When I'd reset it, the video would come back up just fine. Ended up doing a factory reset, resetting everything, and left it alone. Yeah. I totally get that. Like, I think the worst one for me was when I played Spider-Man 2. It desynced the audio from system level. I couldn't believe that. That was pretty scary. That was some scary shit. I thought my PlayStation bricked. Man, Destiny 2 still getting nerfed. They want players. Why are you nerfing the goddamn game, Bungie? It's like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. They want people to play, yet they're still nerfing the game. They are still now, oh my God, they've reverted back to the 2027. Oh God, people, these ponies are sad. These ponies are fucking sad. They are really, really sad. But yeah, I'll definitely reach out to Boom and see what he says. And Pal, definitely, if the timing works, don't forget there is time zone issues. I am in the UK. I've got a few projects coming up as well, so as long as we can plan it around those, like the review I've got to do for the monitor and stuff, but overall, hopefully that will be okay. But I think that pretty much covers everything for this show. I did want to ask you all, I know I do these shows on a Friday, but would you like these shows, like more of these shows in midweek? It would be around the same time, around 8:30ish. Would you like them more midweek where we could just talk about stuff, even if it's for an hour or so? You know, there might not be that many things to talk about, but if there's like anything worth talking about, we can just have like an hour and a half show. Because it's either that or I might just be streaming over at Twitch playing some games. So that's the plan. But is that something that you'd be interested in? More time with the chaos. Bringing you, you know, unbiased views. Scalpers at the time sold PS5 and the Xbox Series X was $1,000 each, and I was like, I might as well get a gaming laptop. Yeah, Lord, I agree. I agree. There was no way I was paying that much money. No way. That's crazy. All right, I'll see what I can do. Because I really enjoy these sessions. I really enjoy these discussions that we have. I really enjoy just sitting down, talking and just generally just talking about games and all things. And I find it very entertaining. And having the back and forth with you all is a lot of fun for me. If it's a short chat about news, it would be great. Yeah, generally that's pretty much what I'm planning in midweek. Like the big focus is always going to be on the Friday. But in midweek, it'll be like, I don't know, maybe like an hour and a half. Tops. That's what I'm aiming at. Just something to do. And then I may even transition from there over to Twitch for some gaming. Because I think I'll just leave the gaming side to Twitch. Sappho, you don't have to attend. I didn't mean like people have to turn up. I just wanted to just gauge interest, honestly. The last thing I want to do is go live on a Tuesday or a Wednesday at 9 o'clock my time and no one turns up. That would be bad. The feels would be bad. You might see me crying like Dreamcast guy. No one wants to see that. I mean, after his world got shattered with the ABK merger, he was never the same. He's never been the same. I'm UK, dude. I'm from the good old UK. I'm good old London. So we are the same, Mark. We are the same. Here in the US, Friday afternoon, evening are always busy. Middle of the week, way better. Oh, that's good, Sealback. That is good. So it looks like there is interest, so we can definitely make that happen. And you bug on my monitor, you are going to die as soon as this stream ends. You can move around all you want, but your life expectancy is going to come to an end. I know this end of the stream got real dark real quick, but that bug is going to die. I don't like bugs. I do not like bugs. I appreciate that, Silverback. I appreciate that. Oh, it's going to get more than the splat. Mortal Kombat's going to come knocking and saying, dude, what the hell are you doing? We need that fatality. It's 7 p.m. now, so it would start about 3.5 hours from before now. You gave yourself a migraine? No, I suffer migraines. They are not good. Go into a dark room and rest, suffer. And from the UK too, so I hate how a Game Awards. I know I'm gonna die, Leaf, when it comes to the Game Awards. 1 a.m. it's gonna start, right? 12:30. It says 12:30 plus 1, and I think I never get it right, but I think we are plus 0 at the moment. Yeah, you see, even Paris picked up on this. Remember I said Banjo confirmed? That is confirmed. Banjo fans, I hear you. So Phil is now going to be looking into it. I reckon PlayStation has secured GTA's marketing rights. Wouldn't surprise me if they went even further than that. Nah. That's cope. No way. I don't think anyone is going to secure those marketing rights. But whoever does secure it has won the console generation hands down. There's no recovering from that. From the Game Awards? After the Game Awards? Yeah, I do. So the Game Awards will probably finish at about 4 a.m. my time. I'm going to go sleep for like 3 hours and then wake up for work. But you know what? It'll be worth it because you guys will be watching it. I'll be sleeping on the chair. It'll be okay, right? Jesus. Is this GT? Is this Forza or GT7? I can't tell. Doritos, man. I'm gonna have like multiple cans of energy drinks sitting there. It's just gonna. I'm just gonna pretty much put an IV in and then just have a little switch there that I have to just click so it just goes straight into my veins instead for faster activation. That looks insane, man. Graphically, that just looks mind-blowing. I can't wait for the video by John on this, where he's comparing GT7 and Forza. I'm an American through and through, but my mother was born in Norfolk and my grandfather was born in London, so we're basically family. Welcome, my dude. Vibrate through the floor. Ah, we gotta subscribe. I love when you feel affected by this pig. Apparently, replying to Steam reviews is a new industry trend and not just a Starfield phenomenon? Is it? It's all in the subtext. It's not boring. You're boring. If devs respond non-defensively, it's often helpful, and I like to see the devs are engaging with issues. If the reviewer is wrong on a technical issue, say so. But if they're right about an issue, say if you're fixing it. I guess that's it. That is it, folks. Yeah, I think the devs responding on Steam was a bad idea. Place your bets. Will GTA 6 release on PC on the same day it does on consoles? No. I think it will come out on consoles first, and then PC will come later. I think there's too many variables to get that right first time. This is the guy I was talking about. Hyped. Reasons why I think PlayStation will have marketing rights for GTA 6. Biggest user base. I mean, money talks in the end, right? Not a failure like Xbox. It's not a... like I said, everything he says is about Xbox. There's literally nothing positive he says about PlayStation. Nothing at all. But you know what? December the 4th and December the 5th is going to be interesting. I'm hoping that this might actually be a main campaign trailer and not a multiplayer campaign. That would be really good because, they shifted out a lot of the old guard when it came to Halo Infinite because it just wasn't working, right? I know people were saying how they kicked out like really, really big names, but at the end of the day, they just weren't doing it. It wasn't working. It wasn't delivering. And their ideas were so antiquated, it wasn't resonating with the player base. But you can see that the new people that are in there now making those decisions have revived Halo Infinite multiplayer to new heights. And people are really enjoying Halo Infinite multiplayer now. It's actually in a really good place. So hopefully they will have done the same for the PvE side as well. And they could actually revitalize that. After all, Halo Infinite was supposed to be this 10-year lasting game, right? So if they can continue that live service kind of mode where they just continually update the base game for a while at least, with at least 2 or 3 updates before they move on to the next game, that would actually be pretty damn sweet. Oh, happy early birthday, Power Boss. But that's going to be it, folks. I am done. Oh, PlayStation tax. It's here, boys. It's here. It's here. You're still younger than me, Power Boss. You're still younger than me. Destiny 2 had the least amount of average players on Steam, even during November. Pushing the final shape to June 24 is a tough decision given the player numbers, but I'm glad Bungie is focusing on quality for its next big DLC. Oh, we got more. No, they didn't. It only appears to be buffed because of an artifact mod, and they decreased cooldown for Glacier Grenade, but mostly the artifact mod. Once the mod goes away, so they'll... Yeah, but they've still got a buff to Shatter Dive. Titans got nerfed to living shit. Titans aren't even worth using anymore. They run and shoulder charge you, and then you look at them and go, what the hell are you doing? Trying to tickle me? Piss off. This is what it's all about. We need this, man. We need it. We need this cuddly bear back in our lives. Right? Toys for Bob. Ryan McCaffrey is saying Toys for Bob. Now that they're in the Xbox Game Family. And I think someone in chat actually said Toys for Bob as well. Someone in chat earlier today said that Toys for Bob should be the one that takes on Banjo-Kazooie. There you go, man. There you go. You called it right. Diablo, during Lightfall launch, they had over 140,000. And then Lightfall was so shit, I think it ruined everything. Lightfall was the biggest pile of shit I've seen in a while. D2 has lost its magic. D2 has lost its magic, unfortunately. Like, I played it on Tuesday. I'm just playing it. I think pretty much on Tuesdays I'm streaming it just for the story. And then I'm just going to move away. Because I've invested so much time now. I just want to finish the story at this point. But even though it was new, it felt old. And I don't really think they can do anything to save it at this point. It's just done for. I think it's just done for. It's just not fun anymore. It just feels more of the same, even though I actually enjoyed it for what it was, for the freshness that it was. It was something different to what we normally have. And then when you get to the crux of it, it's just, hey, there's a boss there that is shielded multiple times. You have to go and do something to knock its shield down. Oh, and there's also a million enemies with even more millions of harpies coming at you that want to explode and kill you. Bungie purchase was a mistake. It has poor PvP. Can't see any reason why Sony wanted it. They didn't care about Destiny. They cared about the live service experience that they had with Destiny. I mean, let's be realistic. No matter how much people hate Destiny, it is still the most successful live service game out there. Period. There isn't another game that you can say is as successful as Destiny when it comes to live service. They did, to save money. But you know what? This is what it's at. Man, High Moon and Vicarious Visions, they were the kings. They were the ones behind Forsaken, the DLC, and man, it showed. That was true talent. Oh, I'm not even going to bother with Coil. You don't need to do Coil. But yeah, I would love to see a Banjo-Kazooie game on Xbox. And now that Phil Spencer has said, I hear you, I'm taking that as confirmation that it's going to happen. And on that note, I'm going to wish you all a good night, because I'm going to end the stream there. Need to get some rest, but we'll definitely look to do a stream in midweek. I am going to give you guys a heads up through my community page on when the actual screen comes in and when I'm planning on dropping the review. So hopefully I can count on you all to just turn up and check out the video when it's up, because that would really, really mean a lot to me, and it would just show, the company that's actually offering to support me in this way to show that there is support there, because even views is good enough for them, shares and stuff like that. So hopefully I'll give you the heads up with that, with the discount code as well. So yeah, good stuff. Thanks so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Again, sorry no music today. I'm sick and tired of being demonetized. And until I can find something that's worthwhile, that's not going to get demonetized, we'll just have to continue like this for a little while. I am working on something. I am looking at speaking to a couple of people to find decent prices to sort it out. But we'll get there. Right. Thanks a lot. Peace out. And as always, remain legend. Don't do music. Don't do music. You prefer no music? That's even better for me. Because now I can sing all the way and there's nothing. Okay, I'm not going to kill you all like that. Sorry, I won't do that again. I already just saw my subscriber count go down by a few thousand. Bye. Peace.